Summers with Coldwell Banker. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Minnesota. I focus mostly on the metro area of the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding cities. So, in case you don't know who I am, that's what I do. I do a whole series of these videos. You can find them on my YouTube channel. Just look up Tom Summers, Sommers. My information's right here below. I want to help people like you, buying or selling, understand a little bit more about the market and real estate in general. So today I want to cover the question, as a home buyer, are you looking past some of the best properties that are available right now? That may seem like an odd question to ask, but there's a lot of truth to it, because I'm seeing with the shift in the market, there's a lot of buyers who are going for the shiny penny. Nothing wrong with that if you want to buy something that's newer, that's turnkey, that you can move right into. But I'm also seeing multiple offers in these. When you get into multiple offers, you're always going to pay the highest price possible, which is a big deal if you're trying to save money and keep your payments low. I know some of you aren't skilled to do updates, so all of this stuff is something that I'm going to share with you that you have to take into consideration. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But here are some things. Think about the quality of construction. I would argue that some of the brand new construction right now, whether it be townhomes or single family homes, are not the best. Not every builder, and this is not an indictment on the home building association or the builders. It's just I'm seeing a lot of really poor quality hollow core doors. They're not even using real molding in some cases. They're literally just gluing stuff to the wall. After a while, with the change in temperatures, especially in Minnesota, that we get from 90 to 100 degrees in the summer to 40 below in the middle of winter, your house shifts, it settles, things happen, and all of a sudden you're getting a lot more nail pops. Maybe the cabinets aren't closing and opening as well. There's a lot of those things to consider. So sometimes, for me at least, when I'm looking at these properties with buyers, I think, this is a really well-constructed home. It's a little bit dated, but considerably better than what we're looking at with newer homes. The location. Is it close to shopping, the club, restaurants, hospital, whatever it is that you would go to on a regular basis or need? I know that families, when you have very young children, it's nice to know you're close to an emergency room or a hospital just in case something happens with one of the kids or yourself. And being able to get to shopping, quickly, or to ride your bike, those are other things that people consider, walking scores, things like that. I'm not saying that the newer ones don't have any of this. What I'm saying is that consider everything that fits into your price range, because you might come across something that's truly unique. I've noticed that, a lot of people fixate on the bedroom size. I'm not saying that that's not important any more than the size of the living room. But those are the things that you can't change. So if you're willing to give up a larger bedroom for something that's more updated, you can't change the bedroom. Whereas you can always update or change something. And I know a lot of you are like, well, I don't want to paint. I don't want to do anything. I get that as well. I'm just saying, consider this, because when I was younger and I first started out, when my wife and I bought our first house, the general idea was, okay, you buy your first home, you live in it for a few years, you fix it up, you gain some equity by the home improvements you do, you turn around and sell it, you take all of that profit, you put it towards your next home, and you work your way up. So by the second or third home, you're now in your forever or dream home, use the term that you want. And a lot of that has just kind of disappeared. So what I'm noticing is there's so many people that are running around trying to buy a house that maybe has a brand new stainless steel appliances, has new hardwood floors, has white countertops or granite or white woodwork, choose whatever. It looks like something out of Pottery Barn. Nothing wrong with that. But again, a lot of these things are actually really quite easy to do, especially now with YouTube. I had to change out some headlights on my Jeep the other day. Had never done it before. Watched a YouTube video. Within 5 minutes, I had it done. And it was really great, because I would have gone at it completely differently which would have taken me an hour or an hour and a half to do. Instead, it took me 10 minutes. It's the same kind of idea. I'm not saying that you want to go out and gut a kitchen when you've never done anything. And I'm not saying, just go ahead and throw in some outlets because, it's electrical. You could start a fire. I'm talking about basic things of putting in different types of flooring, painting your cabinets white or a color versus leaving them oak or what the natural wood is. You can sometimes save thousands of dollars because when the home has been on the market for a little bit longer, more often than not, the seller is going to be willing to negotiate that price, which is going to give you much better terms. The money you'll save each month in your mortgage payment, you can put towards painting and doing a few updating dates that many people don't consider. Even with granite or quartz right now, there's many of them that are $30 to $40 a square foot. So you could theoretically do a kitchen in a townhome, spend about $1,500 and have a brand new thing. Whereas you could pay an extra $10,000 when you get into multiple offers against other buyers that it's already installed. Privacy too is another big thing. A lot of these are row homes where they back up to another townhome. If you are the type of person that likes to sit out on your deck in the evening and have dinner or have friends over, and you want to be able to have conversations and not feel like you're being, eavesdropped on or you're not being stared at, privacy is a really big issue. And most buyers, regardless of what they're purchasing, want the privacy. Even in the neighborhoods with single family homes, they have a tendency to build them so darn close together that you can practically put your arms out and touch two houses. These are things I want you to consider because I think it has so much to do with the usability of the property and how your lifestyle is going to be and what type of enjoyment you're going to get out of it over a longer period of time. So when you find a house that has really nice sized bedrooms and they have privacy, it backs up to a pond, it has a wooded lot next to it where you're really kind of alone and you don't feel like you're surrounded by everybody else, you can't recreate that, especially in a townhome situation because you have the association. So you have shared amenities, shared space, all of that. It's a little easier with a single family home. You can always plant trees, but then you're still waiting 5 to 10 years for them to grow enough that you have the privacy. These are sometimes things that buyers forget to discuss or think about. They just get so set on looking at the newest, latest, greatest, which there again, nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying consider your options because there might be a perfect townhome or single family home that's been on the market for, 90 to 120 days. There's literally nothing wrong with it. It just needs somebody who sees the vision to move in and make it their own. That's the other piece I want to mention is now that the market has shifted. Last summer, houses were on the market for 3 to 5 days and they were sold. Now we're getting back to the point where they're going to be on the market for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, which is more of a normal market. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with a house just because there's been a longer market time. And I think as a buyer, you owe it to yourself to investigate anything that might work for you. You might be pleasantly surprised. So just give that some thought. And lastly, I want to say, when you're doing some of the work yourself, especially with bathrooms and kitchens, you really get all of the money and then some back out of the project that you do. So it's a great way to build equity because the more equity you have when you go to eventually sell to move up, the more down payment you'll have on that new place, which keeps your payments lower. If you have any questions or would like to know more information about this, my information is right here. Feel free to give me a call. If you would like to email, you can do that as well, however you want to contact me. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. I hope it was helpful and you learned something new.